we're back. We're back. All right. So this is not gonna be long, man. I was supposed to be streaming like shit an hour and a half ago. And I fell asleep. I'm sorry, I fell asleep. Been working a new job. That should be kind of kicking my ass. It be kicking my ass. It be kicking my ass. I can't lie. The new job be kicking my ass. Like, damn. Hmm. I'm listening to myself on my phone, so that's why I'm trying not to say anything. But yeah, I'd be tired, man. I'd be tired. I'd just be tired. Maybe I actually have to set up a schedule. I gotta be one of those streamers. Like I only stream on Wednesdays and Fridays from 8 to 10. Maybe I gotta be like that. Maybe I can't just wing it and everything like I normally would have in the past. Cause, you know, damn. Yeah. And the only reason why I'm up right now is because can I say this on stream? I don't even know if I want to say this on stream. Fuck it. The only reason why I'm up right now is because, you know, I have ADHD. So what do people take when they have ADHD? So it's like I'm not even like super tired at the moment. So I figure why not just stream now? But tomorrow's gonna be kicking my ass right now. See, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out. But there's things I want to talk about, things I have to say, things I want to discuss, things I was trying to talk about on Sunday, but there were some issues audio wise, and it killed my whole vibe. And I wasn't really feeling it Sunday either. I was not feeling it at all Sunday. So once I heard that there were some audio issues or things that was playing while I was talking, it killed all energy. It killed all energy to continue the stream. But I'm back at it here because I got to recharged. I got to recharge. And speaking of recharge, we might as well just get into it. You know what needs a lot of recharging in the DC universe? The ring, the lantern ring. That's right. We're going to talk lanterns first. I think I'm a zig instead of zag. We're talking some lantern. Lanterns came out Sunday, August 16th at 9 o'clock. It is DC's new show, part of the DC universe, same universe as Superman, same universe as Supergirl, same universe as anything that DC has released under the James Gunn outside of Robert Pattinson's because that's DC Elseworld. But anything James Gunn has released, cartoon, live action TV series, a movie, is all part of this bigger universe, okay? And we're getting lanterns. Now, why is lanterns? I was excited for this show to come out in the first place because when it was first advertised, it was always pushed as true detective meets space or just comics or DC and everything. Like Lanterns meets True Detective. That was always the big, like, this is what the show is going to be about. And ever since I heard that and heard who was going to be in the show, Aaron Pierre, Kyle Chandler, I knew this show was going to be a hit. I knew it. I knew it. I didn't let the Supergirl, bomb push me out the way. I knew this show right here was going to be a hit. So if you stayed on the DC bandwagon, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a round of an applause because this first episode, this first episode was so fucking good. So fucking good. James Gunn, when he first came into DC, he wanted his directors and writers to have creative liberty to tell their stories. He wants every DC show or movie to feel like its own thing, like a comic. Not all comics are the same. They could be in the same universe, same timeline, but the art might be different. You know what I'm saying? Like if you like the absolute universe for DC currently, Batman absolute Batman art is different from absolute Superman's art or absolute Wonder Woman's art. And then when they have their little crossover, whoever's issue it's in, they capitulate with that said issue's art style and vice versa. And that does give shows that comic book feeling. This is a much darker take on lanterns, and I gotta be honest, like I said, this first episode really delivered. It delivered so well. I had to see who was behind it, and let me tell you, I found some news here. So Lanterns is created by Tom King, Damon Lindelof, and Chris Mundy. Okay, these are the three creators for this show, and I did some research on them. And we're going to talk about Tom King later. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to ruin this Lantern run. But there's something I got to say about Tom King. That's going to be a clip. I can tell you right now, that's going to be a fucking clip. But they put together a cast of showrunners, of people that understand how to do a comic book series or just comic book style while still incorporating that crime, whodunit element to it. And what I mean by that is this guy right here, Chris Mundy. I looked into his catalog or what he's been a part of. We're going to take a look at this. Chris Mundy is known for producing and writing shows like True Detective, Ozark, Bloodline, Criminal Minds. He knows he does this detective shit, this cold case mystery type style shows. So they brought in showrunners that have experience with trying to do this superhero meets detective-esque type of dark, gritty shows. They got somebody that knows how to do it. And then Tom King, he's familiar with writing comics, not so much movies and TV, but he understands how comics should be, or just how that just giving that show that comic feel to it. So they have excellent people behind this show doing their thing, and it came out, like I said, this first episode, and I haven't even talked about the first episode. It came out very good. I'm not going to say perfect. I don't want to be too much gas, but a very good first episode came out of this gumbo of creators. So, first episode of Lanterns, we find out that John Stewart is being trained by Hal Jordan. Okay? Hal Jordan is the Green Lantern of the first Green Lantern of Earth, and he's training Hal Jordan, and he's training John Stewart to be his backup if anything happens to Hal, to himself. Now, what caused the issue or kind of the rift between those two, which I really love Aaron Pierre's and oh my gosh, what's his name? Kyle Chandler. I really like Aaron Pierre's and Kyle Chandler's dynamic in the show because the issue that causes, I guess, a rift or an unwillingness for there to be some type of awkward beef between the two is that's never happened before. When the Green Lantern ring, when it chooses its successor, the ring chooses who gets to be the Green Lantern. So Hal Jordan having to train John Stewart because not because the ring says so, but because the higher council of the Green Lantern saying, "Nah, he's next. We want you to train him." Cause riff is almost like the quarterback of you're the quarterback of your organization, And the organization's like, hey, you're doing a great job, but listen, we drafted this young guy. He got next. We want you to put him under your ring, teach him everything you know. This is your replacement, basically. This is your who in case you get hurt. This is the only reason why we want him. Just in case you get hurt, he can take over. So Hal Jordan, he's not even trying to really train him, or he's being a dickhead about it. And then you have John Stewart who wants the ring, who wants to take that spot, kind of enduring it, but also like, oh, this motherfucker's a dick. He's a dick. And what I find interesting about the show, and I'm kind of getting to some of the plot right here, is when a show starts out, what and how do I want to go about this? What I find really interesting about the show is, well, it has all the mysteries of, or it has like the comic book feel of like, using the ring, being part of the Green Lantern Corp and all that. It does have a lot of mystery outside of the case that they're covering, because it does ask questions on, like, okay, well, why is John Stewart different from anybody else who the ring chooses? Why are the higher ups deciding he gets the ring next, or he's up to get the ring next? In the beginning of the show, he's watching Hal Jordan on TV as a kid, and when his dad comes home, his dad says, "Are you afraid?" Because the alien who gave Hal Jordan his ring was like, "Hey, are you afraid?" And Hal said no, and he became the next green. He became Earth's Green Lantern. So in the beginning of the show, as he's watching Hal Jordan on the screen talk about how he became the Earth's protector, his dad takes him outside. His dad's also part of the army. Shout out to, who's his dad in this? Because he's from what's that star show? The Pink, the Pink. Let me see here. Alfonso Nicholson, right? He's Pink Pete Valley. He's on it, so he's playing as John Stewart's dad. John Stewart's dad puts an apple in his head. He stands back. He shoots the apple from a distance, but he's asking him, "Are you afraid?" And when he says no, he shoots the gun. Little John doesn't even flinch. "All right, let's get inside, get you a burger." He's a proud father. It kind of reminds me. It's almost like, if you've seen the movie Him. This is a weird comparison. Without this reminds me of Him, because, spoiler, in Him you find out that the reason why he's getting trained by Marlon Wayne's Tyreek Withers character in that movie is because, yes, he's a great football player, great quarterback, but his dad, when he was younger, signed a contract with damn near the devil to kind of make him the next one. So I'm wondering if it's something, if we're gonna go back to if we're gonna go back to seeing something similar like that. Because I do find it strange that his dad's like, "Are you afraid?" Almost like kind of prepping him, like he was being made to be the next Green Lantern at that very young age and everything. Okay, so that's their dynamic. It's like a veteran quarterback and the young hotshot quarterback coming in, and them having to work together. And they're both pretty good at like analyzing stuff in terms of once the case gets started and whatnot. You got Hal's point of view on how he breaks down the situation versus John Stewart. Now Hal's a little bit more seasoned, so when he's more of a, all right, come on, Junior, like, show me what you got. And I like how, John Stewart doesn't back down from that, and he fucks up a little bit in the beginning when trying to figure out if this guy's an alien. I guess spoiler alerts. I mean, if you're watching this, I'm sure I might have to put that in the title. I don't fucking know. We'll take this out later and everything. But how do I want to move on from this? But anyway, I enjoy their dynamics with them being student and teacher. Okay. And I can't wait from the show what happened to Hal Jordan. And what I mean by this, you can tell he's not the same person you see in that first very beginning of the episode when he's, you know, talking about how he got the ring. Because the show takes place in like three different eras. It's 1996, then you have 2016, and then 2026. And in 1996, he's the Hal Jordan that you might see in comics, like this happy-go-lucky, like this type of hero type guy. And then 2016, when he's training John, he looks like this motherfucker on the screen right here. You can tell the innocence has left the eyes. You can tell he's been through some things. He's seen some things. He's jaded. Look at his hair. He looks a mess. He looks a mess. Let me see if I can find what he was looking like in 1996. He looks a mess. He looks a mess. Let me see if we can find something real quick. I'm sure they got some images somewhere of what he was looking like in the beginning of the show. So we got a jaded Hal Jordan. Let me type in 1996. Let me see what happens. And this is him in 1996. I mean, it's a little different. Oh, here we go. Actually, we'll go back to. Can I go back to the post? There we go. So yeah, we'll go. We'll stick with this one. But yeah, 1996, different Hal Jordan, different type of pride about him, even in the way he speaks. And now in 2016, like I said, it's jaded. I've seen some shit Hal Jordan here. And what I thought was pretty cool in this show was Hal does a training exercise with John, and that training exercise, he he puts the ring on the stand of the car. He drives it off the cliff. He jumps out the car. He leaves John in there, and John has to grab the wing and try to save himself before the car crashes and explodes. All right. As John's walking to the taco stand that he's going to meet Hal, the ring activates almost like a AI hologram reminder program, whatever, where they call it the hologram comes out, and it's Hal from 1996, and you can tell already is a different Hal. Like at this point, John Stewart's all like, "Man, like what the fuck is this?" And then this Hal Jordan's like, well, the 1996 Hal Jordan's like, "Whoa, I'm sorry if I make you mad." Like he's apologizing, which you can tell John Pierre or John Stewart isn't used to that. And it's just a different type of energy. He's like, "Well, here, can you fly me to where I'm at currently?" And he's like, "Oh, wait, I didn't teach you how to fly? Wait, do we get along? Wait, I thought you said I was training you." So already you can just tell the disconnect between 2016 John and 1996 John. And this is actually supposed to be a weekly upload into like the Ring system. So he's like, he hasn't been uploaded or updated since 1996. So anyway, I really enjoy. I can't wait to see what made him the way he is currently and how that's going to transpire throughout the season. But anyway, back to the actual main point of, or at least this episode, is they go to Nebraska. They go to Nebraska because of the hologram or hologram telling them, given some type of like code word that only Hal would understand. And from there, they start investigating. There was a shooting that went on. There's aliens in Nebraska that look like humans, and Hal is here to stop it. He has been monitoring this. Whatever happened in 1996, he's been keeping a close eye on Nebraska, and that's why the hologram came out. And now whatever's going on, they got to stop it. There was one of the best scenes, in my opinion, in the show is an interrogation scene with Hal and an alien. And what was so cool about this scene was Hal was trying to figure out or kind of have this guy exposed that he was an alien. So for Hal to get him to kind of show that he's an alien, because he looks human and whatnot, he asked him two questions. I thought those brilliant questions. How do you feel about Obama? Or what school that Harry Potter go to? And which was a great. Let me see here. Let me see. When was the last time Harry Potter came out? What was the last Harry Potter movie? Let me see. The last one was what? What was the last one that came out? 2011. Damn. Wow, I feel old as hell. Anyway, but he asked him those two questions, and the alien couldn't answer any of them, and that's how it kind of got exposed that he was an alien. But their confrontation. Let me see here. Was lanterns. Let me see if we can get to the interrogation scene real quick. Let me see if they show it. Maybe not. And it's okay if they don't. But no, that was probably one of my favorite scenes, that interrogation scene, because the alien was also kind of peep game that, hey, Hal, you don't seem the same anymore. Like it's almost like you want to die. It's like as the aliens threatening to blow up the police station and shit. And he's like, does your ring even have enough juice? Does your ring even have enough juice to stop the impact of my bomb and everything? So it's just going to be interesting to see what's going on with Hal. It's going to be interesting to see why John was chosen to be the next successor, the next one up. And it's going to be interesting to see what's going on in the small town Nebraska. Questions I have, and spoiler alert, I'm sorry if this is, you know, a spoiler, but at the end of the episode, we get to 2026, and we see a John Stewart who, once again, I got to find who I thought that they paid homage to a classic, iconic John Stewart clothing from the Justice League cartoon show. You have John Stewart coming back to Nebraska in 2026 wearing, let me see here if I can find it. It's been all over the internet. Hang on here, John Stewart. Let me see here, right here. John Stewart came back in 2026 wearing the iconic coat and turtleneck that you see him wearing in Justice League and everything. He comes there, he meets the sheriff that we see in 2016, and from there, that is where we see a dead Hal Jordan. Who killed Hal? There is a bullet going through Hal Jordan's head. Who killed Hal Jordan, and who took Hal Jordan's ring? So we have a couple mysteries to figure out throughout the season. Why John Stewart? What happened to John? I mean, what happened to Hal? What made him so jaded? What's going on in Nebraska? And who killed Hal Jordan and took his ring? So once again, it was a very good episode, very good first episode to an 8 episode season. So I can't see what happens. I can't see what happens. I can't wait to see what happens next with Lanterns and DC. When they fuck up, we should be on their heads. But when they do something good, we got to give them a round of applause for that. We got to give them a round of applause. So let's see what's to come on the rest of the season. I do want to take a look here. I don't think I watched that. So what's to come on the rest of the season of Lanterns?
Something is off here. I can feel it. got 4 dead aliens on a football field. Another one just blew up half the sheriff's station.
We got a case to work.
Jesus Christ almighty. Unclench. I get the feeling that everyone wants me gone. Were you talking about me?
Everything feels like it's about to explode for no good reason.
I knew there was something about this place, and my gut is never wrong.
There's an interplanetary war criminal hiding here in Rushfield.
What does this thing want?
We don't know. These aliens are gonna waltz into town, they're gonna blow up.
4 aliens are dead, and yet you linger.
I think you're hiding something on this property you don't want me to see. These weapons are too high-tech to be from around here.
One of the most dangerous beings to ever exist knows it has been found. You have 48 hours to identify the manhunter. No reason for innocent lives to be lost.
You're only gonna get one shot at this. Do not miss.
Do you know who I am?
Your guardian. You are the founder of the Lanterns.
This is when most candidates ask, why me?
I know exactly why me.
What do you think of Hal Jordan?
I don't think about him.
He says that you are too weak to bear the massive power of the ring.
You know, the Guardian said you broke a vow.
It's above your pay grade, Junior.
First time I met Hal Jordan, he was in jail too. After the shit show the twig you put on.
I'm just trying to figure out if I can trust him.
You already know the answer.
Would you be comfortable replacing Hal Jordan?
It doesn't matter if I'm comfortable with it.
Killing a lantern would trigger a large response.
I don't need a sidekick. The only way you're gonna get this ring is over my dead fucking body.
Jordan's actions have accelerated the inevitable.
There's more going on here than you realize.
The best thing you can do for all of us is just go.
If you want this job,
I'm gonna have to move you off the game board.
You think they're gonna let you keep the ring?
then go and get it.
Man, that shit look insane. I don't know why the quality of this video looked that bad though. I don't know. Something was felt up to me, but nah, that looked good. That looked good. So it looks like we're gonna be flashing in between 2016, 2026, based off that trailer. Because when he's in prison, Jon Stewart, he has his mustache in or beard or whatever, and that is from the end of the episode. That's his 2026 Jon Stewart, basically what I'm saying right here. So it looks like we'll be flashing in between these two different timelines and uncovering of what happened to Hal and what happened in Nebraska in 2016. So, like I said, this was a very good first episode. I can't wait to see what happens for the rest of the season, what oath did Hal Jordan break, and see if Jon Stewart's ever going to get this ring. So that's it there. I know I had some other things to discuss. I didn't really talk about the X-Men casting just yet. And you know what? I'll talk about that tomorrow because it is getting late. I didn't want to just talk about the Lantern show while it was fresh in my mind and everything and whatnot. So yeah. Anyway, I'll be back. Maybe if not tomorrow, Wednesday, and everything. I gotta go see a movie as well, so I could do a review. But thank you for joining if you are here, and y'all have a good night.